morning guys, and I am here doing a video on food photography. So I thought I'm filming on my phone today because my camera battery decided to die for some unknown reason, even though I charged it yesterday. So as I said before, today we're doing food photography. I know this is this week's photography genre, so I thought I'd make a little video to help you guys out. But today, instead of focusing on maybe using a lamp or something like that, we're going to focus on natural light, which sorry, you can hear my dog in the background with his toes. Which is just going to use a simple window. It's a cloudy day, so there's not going to be any direct harsh sunlight, and we're just going to create a little shadow. So yeah, let's take you through what I have with me today. Okay, so the food we're working with is carrot cake. I got this from New World. You can literally use any kind of food. It can be your dinner, you just style it nicely. It can be some baking you've done, or you can just go out and buy something like I did. So I've got carrot cake. I've got a nice piece of wood here that we're gonna shoot it on. Underneath I'm gonna put this dark grey sheet so you can lay this on top, so it's got a nice little background. I have some of my fake plants that I use, just in case I wanted some planty feels. Got my white pieces card to help reflect the light back on. Got some old pine cones I found, some cutlery and plates. There's my camera in there, and I've got my tripod. So yeah, let's get this set up. Okay, so we have our setup. As you can see, I just kind of ruffled the sheet to give it that cool kind of, well, you just get a bit of texture. The lighting is coming straight from this window out this way. As you can see, there's a little shadow here of the cake. I took that plant from my garden, pine cones, and then got the candle, and the cake is basically scented. So this is what it looks like through the camera. I'm just going to do a few adjustments because it is quite dark today. But I always, when I'm doing things like say food photography, still life product, I always will keep my camera on a tripod, and then, unless it's a really difficult shot and you need to hold it, and then I set it to having a timer, so that way I can focus, I can press the shutter, I can step away, and I'll take the photo. So basically, normally when you take the photo and say you're working with such a low shutter, like 50th of a second, you will move the camera when you press the shutter, so you will get a little bit of motion blur. But like I said, if you take the photo, you step away, nothing's touching the camera, as long as you don't move, because the ground will, if you bounce on the ground, you will create movement. As long as you don't move and the shutter ends on the timer, you'll normally get a nice crisp photo. As you can see, it is quite dark today, but see, quite crisp. So I would recommend using a tripod, but luckily those who have phones, you can use a tripod for your phones, or you can just handheld it. Phones you don't really need to worry about so much unless you are playing with the settings, but if you're using a camera, it would be more preferred. See, this is much lighter, see the clarity. Yeah, food photography, so we'll try some more angles, but yeah, that's kind of the basics. Okay, so now I've re-changed the angle of my camera, so instead of it being shooting from just over here onto the product, it is going to be right over top, just like that. So sometimes you can set your tripod up in many different ways to do this. Sometimes you will get the legs in the photo, but you can quickly erase that out in Photoshop. But with this one, got it at such a good angle, you don't really actually see any of the legs in the shot, which is really cool. So, yeah. Okay, now it is time for a scenario shot. Do you see this really harsh shadow coming bounced from the cake over here? Now what if we had taken a photo and we did not want that shadow? We wanted it to be lit from the back, but we didn't have any lights to work with. So we have the next best thing. We are going to take a white A3 card. We're going to place it behind like that. Let's see, this is the cake without the card, with the card, without it, with it, without it. So you might not be able to notice it on my terrible phone quality, but you can notice it when you see it in real life. So we just need something to hold up the card, so I'll just use this vase that the pine cones are in. I'm just going to move it up a bit. I kind of just want it to be here. Right, and then I might take this one as well and put it there like that. So do we see the shot now? The light's coming in from this direction, bouncing off down there and heading down there. Alrighty, so now to see the shot. So here we have it through the camera. I'm going to press the shutter, taking the photo. So here is the photo of it with the whiteboards, and then here is it without. So you can clearly see there is a big difference where it's quite dark over here and here, and you go to the next one, the light is suddenly bouncing off back there. So it just kind of makes it a little bit lighter. It helps to play around with such things. But these kinds of things can come in very handy, especially say if you wanted a light source. So you say you're shooting using natural light and you want the light to only hit one certain area, so you don't want any light coming in from this side or this side. So you put up two kind of black pieces of card or paper, or just something that's painted black on each side, so the light's you're only getting light from this side. That's kind of what you're using this for, and this is just to bounce the light from here, zoop, zoop, back down there. That little quick video on food photography using natural light. I really hope you guys put into use using windows as natural light, using boards of card as reflectors and absorbers, and just having a bit more fun with your photos. And you know what the greatest part about food photography is, unless it's in a very professional style, normally the food that they use isn't really food, but for us, we can now eat it. So take a look at the photos, and I'll can't wait to see what you guys do. The whole other carrot cake. It's very sweet. It is very sweet. Yeah, like. Like cream cheese with like every bit of sugar possible. Okay, was out, that's man.